My 22F sisters, 27F husband, 28M, came into my bedroom last night and something strange happened. I'm still very confused right now, so sorry if this post is all jumbled up. I've been staying at my sister's house lately. She lives 4 hours away and I've been staying with her these last few nights. She lives with her husband of 4 years. I have a very good relationship with her, but her husband and I are not close at all. He's always very standoffish and we never talk to each other. I've probably exchanged 5 words with him in the last 4 years. We tend to stay out of each other's way. This is especially bad considering the fact we see each other a lot. We're a tight-knit family, so my sister/parents and I are always around each other. At first I thought this was simply his character and so I didn't take it personal. Then I realized that he's actually quite warm and welcoming towards other people. He's all smiles and jokes when it comes to others, but he's never been nice to me. It's clear that he just doesn't like me. I don't know what I did to him to deserve this, but I've accepted it and honestly don't care. He was good to me on one occasion though. One day I was swimming at the beach and scraped my arm against some sharp rocks. The wound wasn't terribly painful, but he used a first aid kit to treat it and I felt a lot better. But this still didn't change our relationship. Anyway, my sister is well aware of the fact her husband and I are practically strangers to each other. Whenever I bring this up, mostly in a light-hearted way, she gets very irritated though. Now I got that out of the way, Lil explained the issue. Last night I fell asleep at around 2 a.m. A short while later I was awoken by the feeling of somebody being on top of me. I opened my eyes and it was him. The room was dark but I could see him, thanks to the moonlight. I was very sleepy and confused and asked him what he was doing. He was staring at me and looked very sad and teary-eyed. He looked so sad that I thought someone had died and it freaked me out. He started touching my face and then put his hands on my throat. At this point I tried to get him off me but I couldn't. He lightly slapped my face to make me stop and then started choking me slightly. It wasn't a strong choke but definitely enough for me to feel some pressure. After a few seconds his grip tightened and he leaned over like he was about to kiss me. He didn't though and instead looked at me with a sad expression for an uncomfortably long time. I literally told him, "Get the FCK off me or I'm gonna scream." He sighed and got off me. I locked my door and fell asleep soon. I was feeling more confused and shocked than scared. He seemed very emotional and I'm struggling to understand what that was about. This morning my sister was out jogging and I found him in the kitchen. I asked him about last night and he claims that he doesn't remember a thing because he was drunk. Maybe he was drunk, but I know that he remembers what happened. I told him that he was lying and he got angry. When I brought up the fact he choked me, he said that I shouldn't make up stories like that and make my sister jealous because that's her favorite, to me. I told him to never touch me again and my sister came back just as I was leaving. A few minutes later I heard them arguing and I could tell it was about me. My sister hasn't spoken to me since and I have the nagging feeling that she will tell me to leave. I'm wondering now, what should I do? Should I go ahead and tell my sister? Should I tell my parents? I've never been in a situation like this and I have no idea how to handle it. It's just all very weird to me. I hope my post is clear enough, but I can answer some questions if you have any. TLDR, I'm not close with my sister's husband. We hardly ever talk to each other and he made it clear to me that he's not interested in being nice to me. I accepted this and as a result stay out of his way. Right now I'm at my sister's house and he came into my room last night. He got on top of me and choked me slightly. I'm confused and weirded out by his action and don't believe his claim that he doesn't remember doing it. This morning I told him to never touch me again, otherwise there would be consequences. My sister came back, they proceeded to argue and now both of them are ignoring me. What should I do? Relevant comments. Commenter. Absolutely tell your sister, and your parents. Do not be silent about what this creepy a-hole did to you. If you have any bruises/redness, take pictures and document. OP replies. I have no visible marks and it didn't hurt, but I'd definitely take pics if there was redness. Commenter. Get out ASAP. Is there anyone else you can stay with? OP replies. Not in this city, no. I'm planning on leaving anyway and packed my stuff. Commenter. You tell your sister, and to make clear how serious you view it, you never sleep there again, and preferably never visit again either except to get your stuff. OP replies. I'm quite apprehensive about telling her. She'll almost definitely blow up and I feel like she'll get pissed at me. Commenter. You are giving into exactly what he wants if you don't tell her. You do realize that, right? Who cares if she is pissed? Her husband assaulted you. If she gets pissed at you, she is someone you do not need in your life. Update. First of all, I'm really grateful for all the advice I got on my original post. I know I may have seemed a bit too calm, but that's because it took me a while to process everything. Fortunately, I'm safe now though. So, like I mentioned in the original post, I already planned on going back home after that incident and packed my stuff. I was at a local cafe when my sis called me and asked me where I was. We spoke for a bit and she came to me after a short while. When she arrived, I started off by asking her if her husband used to sleepwalk when he was younger. I didn't want to jump into the topic straight away. She said that he used to do it, but it doesn't happen that often anymore. He only sleepwalked once since they've been together. I started explaining to her what happened and she was absolutely furious. She asked me why I didn't wake her up and that it was very dangerous. She went back to her house and insisted that I go with her, to confront her husband. The whole time she was going absolutely crazy, yelling/cursing around the place and frantically going through drawers. When he came later that evening, she verbally attacked him and he swore that he doesn't remember anything at all because he was drunk. She asked him if he took any substances lately and he started beating around the bush. She threw a bunch of prescription drugs on the table and asked him to explain. He said that he only uses them when stressed, and she got mad and asked him why he's suddenly stressed when I visit them. They started yelling at each other and she said that she thought they were over this, she thought she could finally trust him, etc. He confessed that he took some drugs, I can't remember the names, and that he doesn't remember coming into my bedroom or doing anything to me. He insisted that he would never ever hurt me and has no reason to lie about something as serious as this. I said that when I told him to get off me, he responded so that would mean he was awake and conscious. After hesitating, he admitted that he dreamt that he was choking me and I started crying, so he stopped. In real life I wasn't crying though, I was just trying to get him off me and kicked him. He stated that he didn't hear me speak at all. He asked my sister if he wasn't being truthful. Why would he tell her that he had a dream about me and admit something of that nature, since that would surely add fuel to the fire? They were arguing and my sister suddenly mentioned that she heard someone going to the bathroom at night and asked who it was. I said it wasn't me, but I heard him go after he left my bedroom. According to her, he was gone for an unusually long time and he said that he doesn't even remember that. He brought up the fact that he used to do that when sleepwalking as a kid and didn't know he still does it. He turned to me and apologized for what he did and said that he had no clue he was capable of doing that. My sister was very upset about the situation and started screaming at him. She said that he was a disgusting and obsessed pervert and still hadn't changed after all these years. That she tried everything to make it work and became the perfect wife to keep him happy. She said a lot of stuff that was extremely awkward for me personally and completely changed my view on him. I've never seen her so furious and distraught. I know none of this is my folly, but I feel like I effed everything up. It just sucks being in this position. Long story short, they're separating now. She packed her stuff as well and told him that she would be staying at our parents' place for a while. She's not really speaking to me as well, so that's that. This whole situation sucks and it feels like everything came crashing down so rapidly. There was no way I would ever foresee this. Either way, I feel safer now, and again, thanks for all the helpful comments. TLDR, he still claims that he doesn't remember anything about that night. He was drunk and my sister found some drugs he was hiding somewhere. They argued viciously and she was extremely upset. They're separating now and she's going to stay at my parents' place for a while. Next story. My company moved me to 5 countries in 12 months, got me deported, and is angry I want to quit. I started my current job knowing I would be based abroad in Morocco. However, there were visa issues and I ended up spending the first year across 5 different countries, each time not knowing the end date for my stationing. The company does not help with housing. I did eventually get settled in Morocco. However, my company had me go there on a particular type of visa which we all knew was only borderline appropriate for my work, and I ended up getting deported because of it. This company is set up like the big consulting firms, suck up people with high grades right out of college for 2 years. They're clearly serious about the 2-year commitment and have stuck by me through all the visa trouble. When I called to say I was getting deported, they immediately bought me tickets to my home country. So at this point I've spent more than a year trying to make the specific job offer I got a reality, and it's clear I won't be able to, and it's been so miserable. I've explained that I'm pretty tired of last-minute relocations to cities where I don't know anyone, and I floated that I might want to find a job that would just let me stay in my home country, now that I'm back here anyway. I was told that would be considered a very serious violation of the organization's trust, and I should avoid damaging my reputation like that. That sounds bonkers to me. I understand it's been an inconvenient period for them, too, but in addition to my 5 intercontinental relocations, there've been just as many planned but scrapped at the last minute. The whole thing strikes me as pretty unreasonable, no? Meanwhile, I've been collecting bits of info from friendly acquaintances who also left this company before their 2 years were up, and I'm bracing myself for a wild exit interview. They were told, This would be a terrible mistake for your career. Are you the kind of person who keeps their word, or just greedy? Why would you leave now? You wanted projects, were getting projects. They were not getting projects. I'm hearing of pretty consistent references to abandoning one's service and disappointment in character and, naturally, a refusal to consider they might not have created an ideal working situation. Sounds fun. Update. Things worked out fine after I got kicked out of the country I was working in January. The company wasn't particularly helpful, but at that point I didn't expect much of anything from them. They got me a ticket back to a city where I worked years before, so I had friends and old colleagues who made sure I had an easy adjustment. The company is known, really, has only increased its reputation in the last year, for being super vindictive if you leave before 2 years, and the team I was working with was very clear that they at least needed me to stick around for a few months. So I did, working from the other side of the world. It was not great, my hours were weird in order to take calls and my work suffered for being isolated. But after finishing that project in the spring they let me spend a few months drawing a regular paycheck. They only missed payroll for me once, but I'm told it's a more widespread problem, doing short tasks for them, and putting most of my energy toward job hunting. I ended up getting a job, in a new city I like a lot, doing similar, interesting work, right after the 2-year contract ended, so I left on good terms. About 6 months after I got deported, after I got a new job, they shipped my stuff back to me, well, most of it. Some of it my roommates lost or kept. Whatever. I've refrained from writing a Glassdoor review yet, but I did have a cathartic exit interview. I got to say my piece, but the interviewer did part of it for me, opening by saying the org had put me through a nightmare, which I appreciated. Everyone senior at the org just kind of brushed the deportation off, so I was glad someone at least got that it mattered. I hope you guys like this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share and subscribe the channel Relationship Drama Stories.